Indie Warriors, welcome back to I Dream of Indie, or if it's your first time here at our channel, we welcome you. Consider hitting that subscribe button below for all the latest indie game reviews and previews. Today we're taking a look at Summer Catchers on the Nintendo Switch, releasing as of February 11th of 2021. This is an adventure racing arcade game from publisher Noodle Cake, and it was developed by Faceit. There was a pre-order discount available at the time of this review that brought the price down to $5.99. You're probably going to have to act quickly if you still want to take advantage of that. Normally the game is priced at $11.99. Summer Catchers features a very basic story. You'll play as a young girl who has simply never seen summer before. She begins her journey in a wintry section of the world, which is clearly the only world she's ever known, and she meets up with a funny bear who offers up a wooden car to help her make the trip successfully. As the gameplay takes over, you might be thinking to yourself, oh cool, this is an endless runner where I'll simply be making jumps, but it's not quite that basic in Summer Catchers, as you have to cycle through a few different options in order to be successful. You're given a backpack which has a bunch of different tools in it, and you'll have to cycle through these tools in order to deal with the different obstacles that pop up along your path. Each of these tools is represented by a symbol on your screen, and you'll have a shield to begin with, which can help you to crash through barriers without taking damage, a rocket which resembles speed so that you can go quicker, and a wheel or a circle type symbol, which means that you can jump. So you have a couple options here. If you have a giant mound of snow in front of you, you can use a shield to try and absorb the hit. When it comes to the larger pits, of course, you'll have to try and jump over them, or eventually use another ability like the propeller, which will help you to fly over them. I had a few issues with this system. For one, the random nature was a big turnoff for me. There were times where I knew what to do and which object was in my way, but I couldn't do anything about it because the tool didn't pop up in time. Yes, you can swap between the different tools, but it's entirely random which tool will replace that one that you had swapped, so I felt like sometimes the game wasn't really about skill at all, it was about getting lucky. My other problem with this system is that sometimes you just don't have enough time to react. I mean, I don't have the best reflexes in the world, but still, when an object pops up right in front of your face, you just don't have enough time to think about it, so it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of gameplay here. I think that the idea is cool, but the execution does miss the mark a little bit. You'll be traveling to quite a few different worlds in Summer Catchers, but you'll spend a lot of time in each of those worlds treading the same tracks over and over again as you have to perform menial tasks for each character in those areas. These tasks can range from chopping down trees to freeing frogs from ice with a flamethrower, so there's a decent variety to these. Most of them play out in the same way, with you simply having to chase down an object or use an item at the right moment, but still I appreciate the little bit of variety that's offered here, though it's mostly just a checklist that you have to go through in order to advance to the next area. As you make more and more progress down these tracks, you will collect mushrooms. These mushrooms act as your currency, which you'll use in the shop. Each area does have a shop where you can purchase more tools. Outside of simply purchasing tools, you can also upgrade your car. You'll unlock more and more upgrades the further you get into the game, and you can unlock some cute little outfits for your character. As you learn more and more about this game and you get into a rhythm with it, you realize that it's a pretty grindy experience, a challenging one at times. Thankfully, you can change the difficulty if you so wish, but kind of mundane. Still, Summer Catchers does have its moments. I think that the characters are charming in some cases, and I also thought it was cool that random events would pop up from time to time as I was racing along. Overall, though, I would say that I never really got into a smooth rhythm with this game. It felt a little bit jumbled and just too random to really be enjoyable. In terms of graphics, I really quite like the look of this game. It's beautiful in motion, actually. The animations are superb, and the pixel art looks great for the most part. I enjoyed seeing all of the different seasons as I progressed forward, and some of the characters are pretty charming with some decent dialogue to go along with them. There are some cute little touches around the edges in this game, like being able to mail a letter to the friends that you had previously visited that helped you to get further into your journey. It does go for a little bit more of that overly pixelated look that I'm not always the biggest fan of, but still the bright colors kind of won me over, so I think the game looks pretty nice. The soundtrack to Summer Catchers is also really great for the most part. I enjoyed it. It's pretty subtle throughout the town areas of the game, or the small villages I should say. Once you get on your vehicle though, it's a whole different story as these songs kick into high gear with some great percussion and some soaring melodies. This is an excellent soundtrack that I would recommend checking out even if you don't play the game. The sound effects like the motor of your vehicle are pretty good as well, have that crunchy 16-bit sound to them. So overall, the visual and audio presentation is pretty strong. Also, if you were wondering, I did play the game both docked and undocked for a little bit, and in the handheld mode, it seemed to perform just fine. I didn't have any issues, and the game looks pretty nice on the small screen. At the end of the day though, as visually pleasing and as great as Summer Catchers sounds, I'm really disappointed in the way it plays. I just think this is a little bit too much of a jumbled mess, and the random nature of the title makes it not a fun experience. I honestly would have enjoyed just having complete control over this vehicle, being able to make my own jumps and not having to deal with this strange system of cycling through different tools. Still, for you persistent gamers out there who are willing to put up with the shoddy mechanics, you might get something out of the cute storyline, the visual aesthetic of the game, and the soundtrack. So, if that's worth it to you, it's up to you ultimately to decide, but for me the gameplay was a pretty big turnoff. We'd now like to take a moment to thank our great indie warriors who support us through channel memberships. We have Mitchell Hall, Kevilo, Bunny, Bill Tikaz, Christian Cruz, Wesley Williams Semple. You truly are the heartbeat of I Dream of Indie. Thank you so much for supporting our channel through memberships. You all can do the same for just $1.99 a month. You'll get all of the wonderful perks that we offer. We also have a ton of other ways you can support us right down in the description box below if memberships aren't your thing. However you end up doing so, it means the world to us, and we thank you so much.